What's up, all you cool kids? This is Daisy Collins of TsunamiRose.net, coming at you live from my craft room here in Las Vegas, Nevada, as I do you guys Monday through Friday, bringing you guys junk journal videos. So if that's what you're into, please do hit that subscribe button and give me a little thumbs up on this video. I do pretty much post a new video every single day. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. On today's video, I am going to be, I was supposed to be doing other things, but then I felt the need to do this. I'm going to be making a fabric journal cover using scraps. That I've made this one time in the past before, and I think I sold one journal using this kind of cover. And I'm going to do it again. So basically what I did was I had a bunch of strips. So that's why I'm cutting these up into strips. I don't exactly have Christmas fabric. I think I do have some specifically Christmas fabric, which I might pull out right here in a second. So what I'm doing is, since I am doing Pink Christmas, what I did was I pulled out some fabric that has loose, what could be loosely interpreted as Christmas colors. So I have this striped fabric. This fabric I figured has a lot of green, so it could be Christmassy. Then I also have this green fabric. I have this black fabric that has some pink in it, so this could be Christmassy. And then I had a little bit of these fabrics right here. So I have a little bit of this red fabric with some little beige diamonds on them. And I've made journals with these two fabric in the past before. I didn't notice that my camera was so crooked. Hang on. There we go. That's more better. I've made journals with these two fabrics in the past before, but I pulled them out because I really haven't touched them since. So if I haven't touched things in a while, I'm good to cut it up because obviously I just haven't used it. And I also pulled out some of this black and white houndstooth design. So these I've already cut up. I might need more. I'm not sure. I'm looking at the composition here, and it looks like it could use some more of these here. But I'm only going to be making like one or two covers, so I don't want to cut up too much. But it looks like it is going to need more of this fabric for sure. And so yeah, those are my that's my loose interpretation of Christmas colors. And I threw in some pink because it's I'm doing a pink Christmas. So that is why I've chosen these fabrics. So I'm gonna leave the video. I really don't know how long okay, so apparently this fabric makes my camera freak out. I have like I said, I've done this live before, and I believe I already had the strips done. I decided to do this like 5 minutes before, literally 5 minutes before I went live. I was like, oh yeah, I actually don't feel like working on tags anymore. I want to do this. So here we are. Let me add some more strips of this fabric here. And so I don't even have like a picture of what the fabric, well, you know what I do have? I think I have it. Maybe. Let me see if I have it in my file cabinet. Check I might have it. I did do it on paper one time, but I never used them. Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay, here it is. So this is kind of what I'm going to do. I decided not to make this a cover at the time, but this is the loose idea of what I want to do here with this fabric. I'm gonna lay out the strips, and what I do is I zigzag through the middle of them, and then I'll do a straight stitch to kind of have the end be flat and not be exposed. And yeah, and then I did it here with paper, but I want to do another cover with fabric, so that's why I have that there. Okay, so I'm glad I had that example. So let me make a couple strips, and it doesn't really matter what size strips. I tend to do 1 inch to 3/4 inch. You can have a little bit of a variety. And this fabric is all messed up. Normally this is something I would have done previous to going live. But my brain just told me to do this right now. So sorry if you get to watch this boring part of me. I gotta cut this up to right here where it starts going a little crazy. So I am looking for straight strips, so nothing crooked really. So I cut up to the part where it starts getting crooked. These scraps will be for other projects. 1 second while I fold my fabric piece. I gotta have them looking nice as I can. Okay, yeah, see, that's a good mix there. See, that right there is Christmassy already. That is, hey Patricia, what's up, girl? What is up? What is up? Just over here changing ideas every 3 seconds, that's all. I want to make about a couple of covers. I'm only going to make 2. So I think I'll make 2 Christmas journals. I think I can do that by the end of the month. I'm looking at the date. Next year, I'm starting this in like March, I swear. Hi, Jen Ren. Okay, let me cut up these strips. If you already have strips, that's great. Pull them out. Or if you're like me, go ahead, feel free to make some. And cut them to be different lengths. Some short, some long. And I am going to be sewing this together. Okay, so that's a little bit of a better mix here. Okay. And of course, I could always use strips for other projects. Okay, so let's get some pink strips now. Because again, I am doing pink Christmas. And sometimes this project, you could cut the strips with a rotary cutter. But for this project, I did hand-ripped strips. So in a second, I will show you. I will try and do a little bit of the project. My personal preference is to finish all the strip making first before I start making the cover. I literally did this over a year ago, and I have not visited the technique before. That junk journal sold like a hotcake. Sold real fast. The cover was really nice. So here we are. I'm going to revisit it, rehash it with a different theme. And I hope it turns out as good as it did the first time. Where do you like to buy materials? So all I'm working with here are bed sheets. And when I first started, I did buy new fabric. So this fabric here is from Walmart. Back in the days, I'd buy small pieces of fabric from Walmart from like their dollar section or buy 1 yard. But now, honestly, this bulk of, well, this was gifted to me. This green fabric was gifted to me. But the bulk of all this fabric here is bed sheets. And I just get those at thrift shops. I love bed sheets. You get so much fabric. If you're a new sewer, I mean, you don't want to start with expensive fabric anyways. So definitely hit up the thrift shops when you feel it's safe and find you some cute bed sheets. It is a hunt. I'm not going to say that every single thrift shop I go to has cute bed sheets because that is unfortunately not the case. I go into many and buy one or none. It very much happens. Very, very much happens. Let me see. Why can't I do this part again? But sometimes the freaking thrift shops want to be charging literally the same price as new sheets. But it's because they know people like me buy them and resell them. So they want to get their dollar, I guess, first. It's smart. It's smart. I'm not judging them. It's smart, but like, okay. See, I like that pattern that way. Thrift shops are pricey out here. Sometimes it's so annoying. Sometimes it's California thrift shops are the only ones that I have found to be honestly reasonably priced 100% of the time. Like 100% of the time, they are very reasonably priced. And I love California thrift shops. They have such good selection. Oh my goodness. Even out here, I know that the best selection in my city is in this one Goodwill that's out in the middle of nowhere on your way out of town. And I love going to that thrift shop because it always has, I guess it's less visited, because one time I was looking for game boards and everyone was like sold out. But I went to that thrift shop all the way out on the way out of town and they had a bunch of them. Like, no problem. They had them. No problem. Okay, so that should be enough of this pink. I always go overboard, but I like to have a nice selection and I can always reuse these scraps or resell them. So I'm not really tripping. I like to use up supplies. Sometimes it is sad. I'm going to miss this pink bed sheet. And I want to say this is the last piece I have of it too. I want to say, sadly, I think this is it. I have sold pieces and that's what I have left. But I got to go out there and get more, but it's just been so hot on top of all that's going on. I haven't really been going out to the thrift shops. But I have, and I was lucky enough to find these two gorgeousness right here. These two are beautiful. Somehow I ended up finding these two in one day. Doesn't really happen. It does not happen. But I love it. Okay, so. Again, I apologize. I would normally have done this part. I would have normally done this part off camera, but here we are. I couldn't decide what to do. See, now it's getting a little bit more pink Christmassy, right? Right. Okay. My light might be way too bright on here. Let's see. There we go. Sometimes the camera looks bright and sometimes it doesn't. It gets on my nerves. Okay, so let's get some of this. So some of this I feel like, and this was in my mom's backyard. So this is this was in our backyard here, and I told my mom, I'm like, okay, well, give me that. I cut it up. Let's see. So this is kind of like the white, because it has a lot of white space on it, but it still has a design, so that makes it a little bit more interesting. Will fabric flip up like that in both directions? Yeah, but I think one way will give you less trouble than the other. On some fabrics, it's very specific on what way it can be ripped. And on others, I don't find it to be an issue at all in any direction. Yeah, okay, I'm probably ripping up way too much material, but you know what? Gosh darn it. I love it. I love it. I gotta have the selection. Okay. Oh God, I had a piece of fabric in my, like a piece of thread in my mouth. Oh God, that was terrible. That was so gross. Okay. That was terrible. Okay. That one might have been too thin. And see, even if I don't use this for this, I could always use this for other products. I am not even tripping. And if it's just bed sheets and you got a good deal on it, you have so much fabric. That's why I love using it, because then you don't really even have to worry about it, because when you buy a bed sheet, you get so much. When I bought fabric from Joann's or even Michael's, it's like or even Walmart, it's like I better have a plan for it, and that plan better go right, because if not, I'm going to be mad. If plans with bed sheet fabrics go bad, I'm not that mad about it. Trisha, I was dying. I was going to, it was headed for my throat, and I was like, no. Terrible, but it happens. You know what? Nobody said junk journaling was a harm-free hobby. Okay. See, this is already starting. It looks really festive. I like it. Maybe it's just me. Maybe when I put it together, it looks nothing like Christmas. I don't know. Last time I did it, it was more like a scrappy type of situation with no theme. So in the end, it kind of didn't matter. And I'm also kind of worried about my thread choice. I think I'm going to go with green. But I could also go in with red. I could go in with both. Yeah, I guess I could go in with both. I'll go in with one. I'll go in with red. And I could throw in all the colors. It could be like a crazy cover. Oh my gosh. My ideas are running in my head. Okay. I see it. I think I see it. Does Walmart have Christmas fabric out yet? Anybody know? Does anybody know? I'm going to go there tomorrow because I got to go shopping, but I have not gone to Walmart. I can't even remember when the last time was. It's been a minute. I was thinking hide my linens. Some green would be nice. Yeah, because I don't have a lot of solid green. I'm going to have some green in these two and some of this. But other than that, I don't have... I'm trying to think, what green fabric do I have? Because now I don't see a lot of green. Oh my God, now I'm panicking. Hang on. I think I might have some fabric that's green. Gotta go look. Do you have any plaid? No, I don't. I don't think I do. I honestly, I'm so terrible, y'all. I really don't plan for any of this stuff, especially not holiday stuff. And especially not this year when, I mean, I didn't plan last year not to be able to shop this year. Otherwise, maybe I would have stocked up after Christmas last year. But I tend to literally exclusively be drawn to floral prints. I'm terrible. I'm terrible. That green fabric is too thick. And all the other green fabrics, they just have like other colors, you know, they're not just like green. They have other colors. Yeah, see, this one's got, that's not enough. And I kind of get picky with some of the fabric because I don't want to use it up. Okay, here's some green fabric I don't mind getting rid of. Okay. It's not exactly plaid. Hang on, I gotta grab a bag because that fabric is getting out of control now. Where is my bag of bags? And yes, I put everything in plastic bags. So give me 1 second. I put up. This is supposed to be for 1 cover, but now it's marked into maybe 10 covers. Okay. Hi, Miss Gigi. There will be a 3 a.m. yard sale. Oh my God. It's the good stuff. I am. I'm going to go check out the 3 a.m. Yard sale to see what they got tonight. Oh my gosh. Okay. Trying to find the Christmas spirit in my stash. That's what I'm trying to do. Are we here? Are we here? Are we good? Are we good? Uh-oh. Who said? Tell me if we're good. Can you see me? Am I live? Are we doing good? Are we good? Are we good? Are we good? Maybe we'll get something done tonight. That's why I put prepping. Because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get to actually make the cover tonight. Maybe tomorrow, but I am working on it right now. Let's see. I made a bunch of other chipboard tags. And I was going to sew them tonight. I have them ready to sew. Then I was like, no, I want to make these covers. And I still want to make covers. Okay, let me see. Let me check one thing here. Recording. Okay. And I even had to go back and watch my own video on how to make this because I forgot. I did not feel confident I could see this again. You're confused on what we're doing. Okay, so what we're doing is old journal cover technique that I've done in the past. And I only have a couple more fabric strips to make before I can actually start the process. But what I'm doing right now is I am taking Christmas-like colors. My fabrics. I'm taking my fabrics and I'm ripping them up into strips, different size strips, different widths, different lengths. I'm going for a pink Christmas journal theme. So I am cutting up strips of fabric that have to do with that theme right now to make a journal cover with a technique that I have not done in a year. And that I honestly did not expect to do tonight. But I just had the need to make it. And see this, I needed an actual cutting board for this because this is like so much fabric here. Thankfully, though, I have these awesome scissors. Well, they're not awesome, honestly. Not that good. I want those like really, really old school heavy scissors because I cannot slam this whole thing down and cut like I see them do with those cool old school scissors. These kind of suck. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my god, these suck. But it's not like I don't make patterns or anything like that. So the little bit of snipping that they can do, I'm fine with. But I've had people talk about like, oh, where are those scissors from? I'm like, don't get them, they suck. Letitia. At least you can reference what you did. Yes, honestly, I am thankful sometimes that I record because otherwise I would forget what I've done, what I've made. So with the recording, I have an idea. And I don't even know how these are bed sheets. These are so stiff. They feel like party napkins. But I guess somebody thought that they were. See this fabric? It has a problem ripping. It doesn't want to rip. And that was the end of it, so it's all crooked. We'll put that off to the side. Hi, Chris. Okay, see? Okay. So this needs to be a little bit wider because it kind of shrinks a little bit. So noted. Ugh. This is too skinny, but that's okay because I could use this to tie tags with. So nothing lost. Yeah, it looks like curtains and it honestly feels like curtains. It feels like paper curtains. It's terrible. This strip is a little bit thicker. Okay. Yeah, it's a little bit better. So for this fabric, thicker is better. Okay. That was a terrible cut. But what are you gonna do? Okay. I don't think I need any more than 2 more strips of this so we can finally get started and y'all can see what I'm talking about. Nope, see that one got too skinny somewhere along the line. Let's see. Ooh, my arm is getting a workout, y'all. Jesus. Okay. Now I want to make some from here, which I love this fabric so freaking much. Is this the one that I haven't cut? I have a lot of this one, actually. I'm really happy about it. Anytime I have a new piece of bed sheet, I'm like, oh my god, it's so much. And then slowly but surely, it somehow all shrinks to nothing. Here we go. That's what I thought. I knew I had a smaller piece that I'd been working with. This one, which is the perfect length to pretty much give us everything we need in like 2 strips. Ooh. See, this one, I love it, but it does rip up like paper. Like it's really, I don't know, this would actually be a good bed sheet. It's soft and it actually rips like butter. Like I've never had, yes, I guess some bed sheets can rip up like this, but not usually so easily. Okay, so here we're gonna cut it where it starts getting weird, which is about right here. Cut it, this weird part. It's cut up very strangely, but it happens, I guess. So strange the way this wants to rip up. I think it must have been uneven somewhere. Somewhere. Okay, let me cut one more thick of this one. And then we can actually make something visible. So y'all can understand what I'm talking about here. Okay. I think I'm going to skip out on the solid green fabric. No, let me get a couple of that. Never mind. It can't work like this, you guys. Okay, let me get a couple strips of the solid green right here so that I can decide. The black one with the flowers on it, I love it. Okay. This is, I don't know what this is. This has like some green. Like, you see how it's shiny on the back? I don't know what that is. I am not like any sort of expert on fabric. I don't know why this one rips up easier than the other. I don't know. Okay. And some of them curl. See, this one is not going to work. Yeah, see, it's not going to work. I can't sew that down. Can I? It like ruches. Why is it ruching? Let's see. I'd have to literally straighten it. Oh my goodness, that's going to be a chore to do. That is going to be a chore. Yeah, no, I don't want anything to do with this. Anyways, okay. So let me cut this up, and then what we're gonna do is we need a base fabric. So I'm gonna sew all these pieces of fabric onto a piece of fabric, and it could be any piece of fabric you want. I am using a white piece of fabric. I don't know what kind it is. It's just a white piece of fabric. And because the way I'm going to make the journal is the way I always make the journal. So I'm going to use heat and bond and make it so that I can use it on my cover. We're going to turn all this fabric into paper basically to cover my book. Okay, so I'm trying to cut this easily. Okay. Okay. So now that I got my mix, this is my pink Christmas mix right here of fabric. They are very coarse, maybe waterproof, maybe. I think I bought that. Where did I buy that? I think I bought that way back in the day in the Joann's Remnants section. I would just buy random bolts of fabric that I had no idea what they were, but they were an interesting color or so. Before, like I said, before I discovered bed sheets. That I was gifted it. I can't remember. It was one of the two. I don't know if Crafty Arena sent it to me. Or did I buy it? I can't remember. Okay. I might need more of this one now that I'm looking at it. Doesn't look like I cut up a lot of it. Oh no. No. What a mess. What a mess. Okay. Okay, so let's see the white fabric that I got. Now, the size that you make your journal cover is up to you. I always make my journal covers just to speed up the whole process of making journal covers, and because I usually make a lot of them. So I've learned to make them all the same size. I make them this size of this board right here, which is what, 18 by 12. So here's my white fabric. It's just regular old white fabric, nothing special. And I'm going to cut this fabric to the size of this plate, or this cutting board. Cutting mat. Not the cutting board, cutting mat. Okay, you should see my desk. It's off to the side. I literally just like threw. I just threw all the fabric off to the side of my desk. Good luck with that, Daisy, later on. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to cut it. And now I have a piece of paper. Did it cut crooked? It cut it crooked. Let me do this again. Hang on. Don't make me pull out the rotary cutter, because I will. Okay, let me try this again. I think this is already crooked. I think that's the problem. But let's see if we can make this work here. It's okay if it's a little off. We'll even it out later too. Okay. Okay, so I have my piece of fabric, roughly the size of this cutting mat. So that's what I'm working with. That's what I'm going to sew these fabric strips onto. So I'm going to start off with, let me get the green thread. Do I have green bobbins loaded? Probably not, because I'm irresponsible. Okay, here's a bobbin. I can make it out to be this green color. One second. I could have started with red, because I want to do all of them. You know what? I'm lazy. Let's start off with red, because I already have red bobbins and everything. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to grab a strip of fabric. I'm going to lay it on top of the white fabric. And I'm going to zigzag in down the middle of the piece of fabric. Right? So, got my bag of fabric off to the side. Let me get close now that we're in the actual process of making it. Let me get down, 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 down. Houndstooth, yes, houndstooth. Houndstooth. Okay. We are now looking at my sewing machine. Okay, cool. So, lay down the piece of fabric on top, the strip of fabric on top of my white piece of fabric, on top of my white base. And they just typically tend to cling pretty well. And I am going to be doing a zigzag stitch here. And I'm going to be using a little bit longer and wider than default. So I'm using a 2 point length and a 5 point width. And we're just going to sew down the middle of this. This could... No, it's fine the way it is. I think I like it. Okay, so now take another strip of fabric, overlap it just a tiny bit, and let me see if I can get a little bit more clear here. Probably like number 3. There we go. We're a little bit clearer there. Okay. Now what you could do is you could glue with a little bit of a glue stick. You could adhere the fabric strips onto the fabric if you really felt more comfortable that way. That is an idea that you could do. Okay. So now let's see what we've done. We've made a big old mess. So I sewed 3 strips onto this piece of fabric here. I'm going to cut it off here at the end. So that's how it's going to start off. And we're just going to keep adding strips till the whole piece of fabric is full. And I'm also going to go in here and sew down here at the edge so that none of this flaps around. So that's also going to create other texture. We'll do that with some green maybe. We'll see how I feel in a minute. I'm trying to pick out my next strip of fabric here. It can be this cute pink. Let's get back to the sewing machine. Is the white material sheet 2? No, actually this I got this from that remnants section at Joann's, or I bought it at Walmart by the yard. It's just like the cheapest like white fabric that they have, basically. That's what this is. You could also use another bed sheet. It doesn't have to. It's just I typically throw away the white stuff from bed sheets and curtains because I know I have so much of this fabric that I bought way back in the day. And let's see if we can add some of this fabric right here. Again, this is going to be very abstract Christmas. It's not exactly your typical Christmas colors. I just don't have it. I don't have Christmas fabrics. Okay, so we're sewing that, and then let me get some of, let me get the houndstooth. houndstooth on top of that. If you need to move and be a little bit more in the middle, go ahead and do that. This is a very, very free-form type of sewing. I did this before I learned about crazy quilting. It's just a lot easier than crazy quilting. Okay, so I'm going to add this tiny strip of red here. Okay. I think I'm going to start off this side over here with a strip of red. Gotta put in some more red fabrics in here. And then I'm going to switch colors. I think I have black loaded. I might do black. Let me get another piece of fabric. I'm going to get this fabric because this is really what makes it kind of this is what gives it the Christmas flares, is this red fabric. In addition to some of the green strips too. But it is a pink Christmas theme that I'm going for here. Of course, nothing has to be perfect here. Nothing ever has to be perfect for your junk journals. Luckily for me. Okay, so let me see what fabric I want to put. Try to make it Christmassy as I can. Let's do this strip right here. And then you'll see we have strips, parts like this that are blank, and we'll fix those too. I really don't change my tension to sew on either paper or fabric. I'm not an expert. It just, as long as it works, I don't really change it. Okay, so now this is what we have right here. So we have all these strips here that are Christmas-ish. It's coming together. So Christmas-ish colors here. I have Christmas fabrics wanted to make a quilt with. I might try this instead. That would be fun. Quilting is fun, but quilting, as you know, my friend, takes a while. The thing I don't like about quilting, to be honest with you, is all the ironing you have to do. I just don't like it. I don't like it at all. So this is almost like before, like I said, before I tried quilting, I tried this method, and I haven't visited it back again, but it is fun. It is fun. Sorry, I'm not close to my sewing machine on the camera. My bad. Okay. Let's put in green. Actually, I'm going to put in, I'm going to put in some green. Just a little bit. I cut this strip down a little bit. I'm just sewing down the middle at first. We'll do other stitches soon. Bobbin is done. Bobbin change. 1 second. Okay. So now that we're done with that, let me finish this part off here, and then we can go back with another thread color. And I can show you the other part of the stitching that needs to be done on this. Okay, some more down the middle. Okay, and then I'm gonna put some pink. I don't even iron my clothes. Yeah, it's that part I was just not a fan of having to iron. Never have been, never will. There are the times that I feel like doing it, so I always do it in steps. Very slow, year-taking steps. One day I feel like doing nothing else but, just watching TV and ironing. And that's when I do that part of it. Okay. So now that we got, actually, let me get this part right here. Actually, what am I going to do on that part right there? This part is too thick. Let's do this right here. This right here. We could just cover it up. Nobody's going to know. Nobody will even know. Okay? Okay. Just cover it up like that. Okay, so the next step. You could change thread colors or stay with the same thread color. It still looks good. So I'm going to change to, I'm going to change to black, actually, because I already have black bobbins, I believe. I should always have black bobbins. Okay, good, I do. What's up, Bobush? You got your toy, Bobush? Oh, he's asleep. You don't even care. You don't even care about me. You don't care? You don't care? Look at your little teeth, Bobush. Your little teeth. You got little teeth. Okay. Let me thread my machine here 1 second. Yeah, my grandma ironed the sheets. Oh my gosh, no. She would probably have a heart attack if she ever looked in my linen closet. Oh my God, I'm the worst. I should not be an adult in charge of a household, honestly. And thank goodness I don't have children because they would be the worst adults. So I literally just throw my sheets in my linen closet. I don't like to fold anything. I'm so terrible. Let alone iron. So yeah, it's a chore to iron when I quilt. Who knows how to fold a fitted sheet? I don't, so I don't bother. I just make it into a freaking pile and throw it in there. Okay, so let's see here. So say I already finished the whole fabric, right? Say I finished the whole fabric. Like the whole thing being done with these strips. So the next step is to go around and literally, like I'm doing right here with your finger, like decide what fabric is going to go underneath what fabric you want to go over what fabric you want to show over what, because we're going to sew all those edges down. So some of them I've already decided themselves. Others I had to like rearrange. Okay. So now that I'm happy with that, now I'm going to go in with a straight stitch. Okay. Straight stitch. I think I'm going to go with default settings. We'll see how it goes. And I'm going to sew the edge here. The idea is that I don't want this edge here flapping around. So I'm going to sew that down on all of the strips. Okay, and short stitch is no good here. So we are going to go with a little bit longer of a stitch. And maybe I started off too quickly. Sometimes that's the issue, honestly. It doesn't matter if you keep it straight. You can go crooked. It's fine. We're just trying to sew that edge down. Trying to sew that edge down. And see right here, that fabric wants to kind of flip. But we're not going to let it flip. So you see that line? That's what we want. That is the goal. So now let me do that on this side right here with this fabric. I'm gonna sew a line to put down all these edges here. Oh yeah, fitted sheets, I can't. I just roll it into a ball. Okay. And nothing has to go straight, so that's why I'm not going like terribly slow or being too careful. Normally I have an example for y'all before I start the live so I can show you what it is we're doing for the day, and I did not do that today. So I had a lot of people like, so what are you doing? Couldn't really explain it. Something I have to show. So here it's already sewn, so there's nothing else to sew there. But over here, this edge right here needs to be sewn down. So I'm just going to start it. It doesn't even matter if we started midway or anything like that. Try to get this edge right here, so none of that even matters. Just try to get to this edge. Okay. And let's start. So now I start to look and I notice this edge right here didn't get caught by this whole stitching, so I'm going to sew that down. None of this has to be straight or anything like that. Yes, this is black thread that I'm using now. First I was using red thread. So you can mix it up or you can keep it all the same color. So I'm going to do this side over here. Trying to catch all the edges from this fabric. This side. So that they all lay down straight. Okay. So let's see what it looks like from far away. I don't know if it's losing its Christmassiness. I hope not. I gotta add more of this red fabric. Make it maybe I should add some of the red fabric on every place to kind of make it a little bit more Christmassy. But I think I'm gonna keep the stitching to black and red, I think. So now, looking at my stitching, it all looks good to me. So the idea is that nothing nothing can be rolled over or anything like that. Like this right here would need to be sewn down again. So let me sew down this part right here. I'm not comfortable with it rolling up. So sew that down. So again, nothing needs to be perfect, of course. You just want to make sure, see the stitch here again. Oops, my thread. Are we here? Are we still here? Are we gone? What happened? What happened? I can see you guys typing. I can see you typing. I hope everybody can see me here. So tonight was supposed to be just the prep work, but I got that done pretty fast. Okay. Are we good? Are we good, y'all? Sorry, I don't know what happened. Go ahead and sew this fabric down on this side. Are we here? Are we here, y'all? I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. We're good. We good. We good. Okay. Okay. One more. of these little edges down. Okay. So now we've basically come to the point where I need to add more fabric, but this is where we are. None of my fabric is like lifting up too much. This is basically how I test where I need to stitch. I don't want it to roll. I don't want it to reveal the edges underneath. I don't want that fabric to come out. So yeah, that's basically how I'm going to be working on this Christmas journal cover here. I could probably come back tomorrow and work on this and another one since we're already at the hour mark. But as you can see, that's pretty much what the whole idea is. I'm going to continue this on tomorrow's live. So if you want to come back and join me tomorrow, we'll continue on this little saga, this little Christmas kick that I'm on. And if you have any suggestions on how I can make this even more Christmassy, let me know. But I'm limited on my fabric selection. But I'm trying to add red, green, where I can. And I think if it looks a little bit, Christmassy. I know, because I spent like 40 minutes ripping up fabric. But I'll be back tomorrow. This is what it looks like on the back. If anybody's interested, it looks pretty cool on the back actually. But as you go, I would definitely suggest you cutting off these threads because my goodness, by the end of this journal, if you don't cut off these ends, I just don't like it. Nothing will happen. It just becomes a big old mess. If you can imagine, these are the threads from just 1/4 of the cover. Imagine the kind of threads that you're going to get when you're done with the whole cover. So I would definitely cut the threads off as you go along. But I will be back tomorrow to finish this, and maybe I'll even have time to start another one. That hour went by real fast. It really did. But I really like the way it's coming out. I really wasn't sure if I was going to like it. Maybe on the next one, I'll use different thread colors. We'll see. We'll see. But you guys, I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll be continuing on this cover. And thank you guys so much for keeping me company. I know I went a little slow. I know I didn't get much done. But that's life, right? Okay. You guys, I'll see y'all tomorrow. I do go live at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I hope you guys join me, okay? Have a good day. Thank you guys so much for your support in my shop. And thank you guys for watching and commenting and liking my videos. Bye.